The Mexico Fund is celebrating 30 years of investing in Mexico and is listed in the New York Stock Exchange. Today, they were invited to preside over the closing bell ceremony here at the New York Stock Exchange. Tell me a little bit about this fund, especially for people who may not be aware that this type of fund exists here in the New York Stock Exchange.
The fund started being listed here on the New York Stock Exchange 30 years ago. It was a result of an effort jointly made between investors in brokerage houses and banks in Mexico to allow the participation of non-Mexican investors on the Mexican Stock Exchange. Today it continues operating on the New York Stock Exchange and continues investing mostly in equity securities listed on the Mexican Stock Exchange.
Tell me a little bit about the type of holdings that, but first of all about the sectors in which this fund is invested and the type of holdings that you have.
Well, the fund can invest in any sector that is listed on the Mexican Stock Exchange. Today we are concentrated in some of the issuers that in Mexico serve on the consumer sector, but we can invest in any sector really. Today we have holdings, or the fund has holdings on telecommunications, on mining, on retail, on foodstuffs, on beverages, on mining. And so it is really open for any investor who may wish to participate through any U.S. broker and the New York Stock Exchange.
Tell me a little bit about the main companies, the main Mexican companies that are listed in this fund. Which are your top 5 companies?
Well, for instance, the fund has a participation in América Móvil, which is a telephone company, mobile telephone company. The fund is investing in mines like Peñoles, which is a producer of gold and silver, or Grupo México, which is a producer of copper. It has as well involvement in chemical companies like Mexichem, in companies like Walmex, which is a subsidiary of Walmart of the United States. So it has a lot of exposure to the most important Mexican companies that operate not only in Mexico but as well worldwide.
Tell me a little bit about how Hispanics in the U.S. or Mexicans here can invest in this fund.
Anyone can invest in the Mexico fund. All he has to do, or her, would be to ask a broker to execute the order, and being listed on the New York Stock Exchange, anyone can invest in the Mexico fund, even Mexicans or Americans or Hispanics or Europeans.
Thank you very much. It was José Luis Gómez Pimienta, President of the Mexico Fund here at the New York Stock Exchange. This was Mariana Cristanchoan for Univision News.